So I wanted to try this insane druid strategy, which when done correctly, it's gonna blow everything that you've seen out the water. And this strategy has a lot of moving parts. Actually, it requires, a little bit of knowledge of how these towers work. It requires a certain setup, a certain hero, and just the way of doing things in order to pull it off. But when everything clicks, I promise you guys, this is absolutely insane. So we're playing on Sunset Gulch for a very specific reason. I trust this strategy a lot, and we don't exactly have a lot of room for error if we're defending like this backline. I mean, this is pretty much the only space that we're going to be allowed to defend, essentially, and if not, we're going to lose. So as long as we take care of these guys, which is going to be a yellow balloon. Oh my god, we barely did it. There we go. We get the money for Obyn, and Obyn is actually a huge part of this strategy. Actually, probably the most important piece now that I think about this. You can obviously do it without Obyn, but the goal of the strategy is to basically get a bunch of bottom path druids, and then you use the total transformation alchemist on them. And yes, for some reason, not only did this thing works, but the key with Obyn and all of these buffs that they actually have through their upgrades is, well, the fact that everything stacks. Everything just simply stacks with this strategy, and that's what makes it so OP. So we're gonna have around 15. How do we want to proceed with this one? You know what? I think we're just gonna drop the brambles for these pink balloons. I think we're gonna chill for a second. I actually have not been using Obyn as much, but I think we should give him a little bit more chances because he's just like he's a great place, I think, overall in like the current state of BT6. They actually made this change. It was a couple of days ago, which allowed the brambles to survive for 5 rounds on the track, and you can actually, not sure if you guys knew this, but you can alch buff the brambles. So if you give Obyn +1 damage through an alchemist, the brambles are gonna do +1 damage as well, and that just accelerates their power by so much. It's actually really good for the early and the mid game. We are, however, gonna need to get a little bit of AoV for this round, I'm pretty sure. So it's either gonna be the brambles or we just buy the Heart of Thunder, one of these guys. I guess it's gonna be the top one. Yeah, let's buy the Heart of Thunder. Was it a little bit too late? It wasn't. It was actually on time. One of the things that I cannot get over is the fact that they gave us Wall of Trees targeting, but we still don't have bramble targeting. I mean, we kind of do in a way, which is, based on whatever Obyn is attacking, but I want to be able to place it like in a specific spot in the ground like they gave us with the Spike Factory recently. That was a great change, actually. So here's what we're gonna do. We're actually going to buy an alchemist, which I'm gonna buy as a 301 because we're gonna have like a million druids over here, and I'm actually gonna click the brambles. Is Obyn buffed? Let's wait for the Berserker Brew and let's use the brambles somewhere around here. That's not a good spot. All right, so the idea is that these brambles were supposed to, oh no, they're all gonna go away. Okay, so the idea was that these brambles were supposed to tank these camo balloons before we get level 8 on Obyn. So, oh my god, no way, these guys expired as well. That's probably the saddest placement of these brambles, because if these guys were just a little bit more to the right side, we have this one. So here's what we're gonna need to do. I don't want to do this. I'm just gonna chop like a spike here at the back. I still want to be playing off the brambles, don't get me wrong. It's just that, yeah, let's go. So let's wait just a second and now use the brambles. And now that's a great spot actually in comparison to the last one. So let's try and protect this bramble pile for the camels to 37. So let's go like this. Let's give this druid a little bit extra range. And actually, one of the key things in just having this strategy work is the fact that you want to keep your druids as the tier 3, as the druid of Wrath, and then you want to have Obyn at level 18, because this is a really powerful combo that happens at that time, which the level 18 of Obyn, let me just read it to you guys, basically makes all these druids of Wrath start each round with 200 pops. So what this means, if you guys know what this upgrade does, basically the druid of Wrath gains attack speed as long as they are attacking Bloons. But with the level 18 of Obyn, they are just gonna start with max pops. Oh, let's just use the brambles. There we go. And that's basically the thing. Once you transform these guys with a total transformation, they actually inherit the buff, and that is insane. Actually, you can take this strategy to the next level because you can buy your druids of Wrath, and then you can surround them with populists. And then the populists are going to be giving attack speed to your druids of Wrath, and then they're going to just basically inherit all of these buffs, and when you transform them, they just do like insane amounts of damage. So round 40 and the Moab is incoming, so let's drop the brambles. That's a great spot actually, because I want to do a little bit more damage to the Moab before these, like, the insides just run into it. And so let's see how these brambles are going to hold. Oh, that's actually close. How about we just drop the brambles and we try and take care of the insides with our druids? And that was, oh my god, that was a lot easier than I thought. Before this, I had actually tried sniping the insides, but I guess that was not necessary. I did buy one more 203 druid, which, I don't know, I don't mind it, I guess, but all the other ones are just going to be 0-1-3s from this point onwards. Another thing that I really like about Obyn is that he's a fast leveling hero, and also when he gets level 20, the Wall of Trees can hold 9, it's actually 9001. They have 9001 peers. This is, by the way, a reference to Dragon Ball, if you guys have watched that show. And yeah, basically 9000 peers means I think about 10 DDTs if I'm not mistaken, which is absolutely insane. Alright, so setup is starting to take shape, but we need to buy a couple of other things. So first things first, jungle drums, and then I wanted to get this guy, the 401 on the alchemist. And honestly guys, we could either buy like a populus or two, or we could just straight go for the total transformation, and I actually like that a little bit more. So let's buy the total transformation like somewhere here on the side. I know this is like a bad spot, but there's nothing to do. Like this map is just the way that this map works, and I chose this map for this specific reason. And yes, I think we've reached the point at which we can pretty comfortably deal with these blue mobs. We're also going to reach level 10 on Obyn right about now. So one of the things I want to do is I'm going to drop the wall of trees actually here in the back line. I want to drop it a little bit early because this thing is on a super long cooldown, and we might need it for round 63. So let's go like this, drop it. Oh, it's actually a little bit out of range. Oh no. Oh, you guys know what happened? The alchemist buff Obyn gave him a little bit extra range, but when the buff disappears, essentially you cannot have objects outside. So yeah, we need to be a little bit more careful with that. Alright, so I'm gonna drop the wall of trees as soon as possible, basically because this thing is on a super long cooldown, and again I wanna try and save it for round 63. So I'm gonna be dropping the brambles, which are quite strong nowadays. They are just absolutely perfect for like this early in the mid game. And you know what, I'm actually gonna use the alch ability because I don't want any balloons entering the wall of trees for now. Alright, so this is a huge round for us because we got level. I should probably drop the brambles while Obyn is buffed actually, so I'm gonna do that. And I want to buy one more tower, and that tower is gonna be this thing, the 240 snowstorm. All these shenanigans that I'm doing, by the way, they're just pushing us so farther away from this total transformation because this thing is like a 48.6. And I know that you guys are not fans. Okay, I'm not gonna comment for everyone, but I think it's reasonable to assume that you guys are not exactly fans of this tower. But like, trust me, this price tag is really not that bad. So let's see if we can afford the absolute zero. Oh my god, it's so close. Like we're at $46 off, which I'm actually gonna buy. So I want to freeze these guys. That's gonna be the first round of ceramics. Hopefully we deal with them, no issue. We can likely freeze the second one as well, but how is the damage gonna do? Oh wait a minute, this absolute zero is destroying everyone actually. All right, that's so good. I thought we were gonna need 2 rounds of the wall of trees, but oh wait a minute, no, it's just going down. Okay, so the absolute zero is holding them, but I missed the spot with the wall of trees. You want to have it here towards the right side because they're coming out from the bottom and they're going out in the bottom. By the way, look at this thing, Obyn level 12, increased attack speed, but Magic Monkey's cooldown is reduced by 5%. You know what? It's not a lot. It actually kind of sucks, but we're gonna take it, 5%. It's free real estate, and that's gonna be kind of helpful, I think, with our total transformation ability. Alright, so just doing the usual check-in with you guys. This is round 75. We do have the wall of trees up and running. It is gonna be kind of a beefier round. I don't think that our tier 3 towers are gonna have an issue. Yeah, it's a bunch of tier 3s, but I don't think they're gonna have any issue in defending this one. Let's see how we do versus this first group of BFBs. Everything is gonna walk into the wall of trees, so I think, you know what, let's just see how we do on this second group, and if necessary I'm gonna renew it for 76, but I don't think, yeah, we're not gonna have any issues. Okay, you guys know what, not even a doubt in my mind, this combo is so good. Basically we're just all surviving off of the Obyn buffs. If Obyn is not here, I'm not sure that these guys do these things currently. Let's actually use the total transformation ability. It's not at all, it's just like the transforming tonic, but it's a really strong one still. I wanted to just evaporate all these BFBs. Alright, and just like that, we are into free play. So $40,000 from missing about $80,000 at this point, and that's gonna probably come in the next 2 rounds if we can defeat them. So I'm gonna renew the wall of trees, collect what's actually, it seems like there wasn't a lot of balloons inside of that. Let me dump the absolute zero, just kind of buy ourselves a little bit more time because these balloons are a little bit more serious. So we're gonna start relying onto the brambles, 500 balloons each, but keep in mind this guy's getting out buffed, which extends that a little bit. And actually, basically every single tower is doing a lot of heavy lifting except the druids, I'm pretty sure. I think once these free play rounds start coming in, I think that these like tier 3 druids, they just fall off until you, I guess until you buy some populus or whatever it's gonna be. There's a lot of damage being done by this guy, by the way. The not the transforming tonic, but the unstable concoction actually, which is doing all these insane explosions. So we're gonna have the ability back in a second. Let's actually freeze them and kind of separate the fortifieds from the non-fortifieds. Wall of trees coming out in a second. Hopefully it doesn't get filled up because I wanna, yes, let's go. Let's get it again. And you guys know what? I'm seeing the money. The money's ready. Let's use this ability first, the transforming tonic. And once we're done with this round, we're gonna buy the tier 5, and that's gonna be, yes, that's absolutely perfect. All right, guys, let's buy it. Total transformation. And I guess you guys know what? I've been thinking of how they might make this tower a little bit, you know, more, I guess a little bit more useful while the ability is on a downtime. And I came up with just basically this guy being transformed at all times. And let's let's get a little bit of taste of this ability. Let's just use it. Yep, that's basically what happens. Keep in mind, we're not even at like full power yet. I'm actually very happy that we got to do this combo and we got to buy this whole setup like a little bit earlier, because if you're planning a strategy, the strategy usually, you know, comes along in like the 90s or whatever. But this one is, we managed to get it a little bit earlier, so we are just gonna use this thing like there's no tomorrow. We have like our 5% cooldown reduction from Obyn. I don't care, guys. So first off, just let me show you guys the power of these guys. These 4 ZMGs are gonna disappear in a second. I'm actually gonna play at 3x speed so you guys see what's gonna happen. So boom, using the ability, gone. It feels like we're playing a mod or something like that, but we're not. This is actually, and it's kind of cheap for the power. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit on the cheaper side for the power that you're getting, right? But I was just kind of thinking of ways of how we can enhance this strategy, how we can get a lot more damage on the field. Probably one of the best ways is if you want to get some damage amplification towers, you just go for something like this. I'm actually gonna go for the 250 Glue Storm. I think I mentioned this earlier, and if you guys are reading, you know, patch notes, you're gonna know that the Glue Storm lasts for half the duration actually if you go for the top crosspat now, but the damage amplification is +3 instead of +2. So we're just gonna be playing off of just timing these abilities a little bit better. Let's just use the ability. And then I also wanted to buy this thing, the primary mentoring, which is gonna give us a little bit of cooldown reduction for the Glue Storm ability itself, since the duration is not that good nowadays. So a bunch of BFBs on this round, so let's just use the ability and let's just yeah, that's not even funny how good this thing is, right? The only problem basically is just this ability having a little bit of downtime, and in that downtime you're just basically supposed to slow Bloons down, and that's about it. So I guess one of the things that we could do is, if I can fit the, I think I saw a spot. Yes, there we go. Let's buy something like this then. Let's buy a Relentless Glue. I was thinking, oh, wait a minute. We went through the wall of trees. Obyn is not 20, is he? Nope, he's 19 and he's missing 68 XP. That's how much he's missing. I knew it. The second I saw Bloons making it through, but there we go. We actually did get it now. Alright, so more DDTs incoming. So here's what we're going to do. 0 to 4 on the glue. Let's dump the ability, by the way. Deleting DDTs like it's nothing. I think this is going to be a perfect round for us to just do the combo. Let's do the thing, guys. So basically, these tier 3 druids, they cannot do anything by themselves. But what if we do this? We use the Glue Storm and then we just dump the ability. How fast does everything pop? Oh my god, round 94. This is supposed to be one of the more difficult rounds. This is supposed to be the round in which, you know, these more, I guess, beefier rounds like 94, 96, 98 start coming out. They're kind of getting you ready for it, and that's basically all she wrote in that one. Let's try to make the strategy a little bit more powerful. So let's go like this, get the primary mentoring, and I'm actually going to buy a Pop Lust, and this is right on time for all these DDTs. So let's just freeze everyone with the absolute 0 because the Glue Storm doesn't last its full duration. And let's go. Let's use the Glue Storm. Let's go like this. The wall of trees burst, so that was a perfect timing. And let's replace the wall of trees while just destroying every single DDT with this ability. That's crazy good. I fit like a Pop Lust here on the side because the buff actually does. Oh no, there's no more space. Alright, there's no more space, guys. This is about it. I mean, maybe if I can fit like one more over here, and if we can just pay attention so we don't lose. Actually, let's use the absolute 0 for a second. Let's go. We get the abilities back, so just go, use everything at once. And yeah, it's just, come on, it's like even like 3 of these guys attacking. Like the guys at the back, the 3 at the back are just not doing anything. They're just watching. Now let them play a little bit. Come on. There we go. Let's use the ability for these ZMGs, and that's about it. Yeah, that looks absolutely perfect. The wall of trees is empty, so full capacity ready to be used. And when I click these 2 buttons, guys, boom, boom, watch how the most difficult round in BTE6 is just gonna disappear in a second. And this is, by the way, not a 3x speed. This is normal speed that we're playing on, and the round is just absolutely crazy. I'm telling you guys, there is something wrong with this strategy. This is way too good. I guess the thing that's wrong is the thing that we're witnessing, because we're gonna lose versus the 45 DDTs. So let's actually try and deal with these guys with Obyn. So as soon as the wall of trees start filling up, we can hold, it seems like, what was it, like 6 DDTs out of 9, I think it's on this round. So what I'm saying is we need to pump 3 of them, or at least hold them in place. And I was thinking of doing this actually, get a 420 sniper. Let's try to stack these guys up a little bit. So let's use the, oh, I used the wall of trees by accident, but I think it's actually not gonna matter that much because these guys are super slow. We're gonna get the Glue Storm in a second, so our druids are gonna do a lot of extra damage. Go like this, and then we are getting the, oh, are we gonna get the total transformation ability in a second? Oh my god, it's so close. They're getting past the wall of trees, but we defended, I think. Yes, we actually do defend, and it was enough with the stun from the sniper, the absolute 0, and I guess the Brambles a little bit because they do a decent amount of damage as well. How is it looking? Are we just gonna snipe the bat in a couple of seconds, or what's gonna happen? Just combine all these abilities. We don't have a wall of trees, so these guys are just basically gonna need to win by themselves. Is the damage gonna be enough? That's super close. Let's freeze them. Oh, that's close actually. Okay, I'm gonna get an Embroilment Ice for the +1 damage. Let's see how much of a difference this is going to make. I think we're also gonna need to get something like this, like a 204 more press boomerang, just because these UMGs are gonna pop, you know, very close to the end, so we want to push them back a little bit. So let's go again. Boom, boom. Use the abilities. I think it's gonna be a lot better this time. Why not time the absolute zero so that we freeze the TDTs, and it's gonna be a pop like right about. It's super close again. So let's freeze everyone. Okay, so the move up press boomerang. We need this guy to just push the balloons a little bit further back. And is this gonna be enough? Yes, it is. That's all we needed. There it is. This absolutely insane strategy, which is only constrained by cooldowns and nothing else. So if you can play around the cooldown, you can basically beat anything. That's it for this one. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'm gonna see you on the next one.